Now we get down to the pointy end of this C programming course. We finally get to talk about pointers. Now, I don't know how many of you have heard of pointers, but they're probably the single trickiest thing about the C programming language to get straight. So if you're not feeling in the mood for some serious learning, you might want to stop now and come back at a time when you're fresh and ready to learn a reasonably difficult new concept. In Chapter 13 we're going to look at basic pointers. I'm going to introduce the concepts of pointers to you, and then in a later chapter we will cover some topics that are considered to be advanced pointers. This is a must-know topic. Well, all the topics that we've covered so far are must-know topics. If you don't know pointers in C, you cannot consider yourself to be a C programmer. In fact, it goes a little bit further than that. I read a quote once. Here's the quote. I thought I'd reproduce it for you because, well, I liked the quote, and to me it sounded actually quite accurate. There are two types of programmers in the world: those who understand pointers in C and those who don't. If you're coming from a language like BASIC or COBOL, possibly even Pascal, Fortran and so forth, you might think that you're a very competent programmer and you know many things about programming, and you're probably right. But I bet you don't know pointers in C. I'm just thinking back to the first time I encountered pointers in C. I'd come off the back of learning how to program in Pascal, which has got pointers itself, but they're not nearly as powerful and sophisticated and therefore tricky as pointers in C. So I had trouble. I had a lot of trouble. I wish that I'd had someone there to teach me properly how to use pointers in C, but I didn't. I pretty much had to figure it out for myself, make all the mistakes that I was going to make, and I made a bunch of mistakes. In fact, I made so many mistakes that I probably consider myself to have made every possible mistake you can make in pointers. So correspondingly, I considered myself to be a bit of an expert on pointers. I know them inside and out. I know them now, but it took me quite a while to get to this place. Pointers have to be, without a doubt, the single most problematic area in C programming. It's the area in which most people have the most trouble, including myself. Well, I used to have a lot of trouble with pointers. I think I've pretty much cleared that up in my head now. But if you're going to make a mistake, or if your program's crashing, or if there's a bug in your program, you can pretty much guarantee it's going to have something to do with pointers. Well, not guarantee, but it's highly likely. Are you scared yet? Good. I want you to be scared. I'm going to explain this to you, and I'm going to explain it to you very carefully, so I think you're going to get it. That doesn't mean you're not going to make all those mistakes that I made. But at least when you've made a mistake, you'll probably understand why you've made it and how to fix it through the conceptual discussion and the understanding that I'm going to give you in this particular chapter. Okay, let's go and have a look at what pointers are.